Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got an update for you coming out from North Korea. We did a video yesterday talking about Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, was going to be visiting North Korea. So he is there for a 2-day stay, as you can see here in the video. Russia and North Korea have now signed this new partnership agreement, and this is going to include multiple things, but they're basically going to strengthen ties, continue trade with each other, help each other's country out. And a big thing that was added to this new partnership agreement is each country is pledging to help one another if either nation is attacked. Okay, so this is very, very big news. This shows the strengthening ties here are very massive between these two countries, and they're willing to aid each other if either country comes under attack. Now, both of these countries are against the West right now. They're against the U.S. especially, and war could break out between either of these countries, so they're both willing to come and protect each other if either nation is attacked. So this is very big news. We've got multiple things we're going to be going over with and talking about today, but I want to strictly talk about this visit here to Pyongyang when it comes to Vladimir Putin visiting North Korea. Okay, so I want to show you some stuff here on CNN first. Let's get right into this. On CNN World, Putin says Russia and North Korea will help each other if attacked, taking ties to a new level. So here's Vladimir Putin visiting here. When he just arrived on his plane inside of North Korea, he was met with a bouquet of flowers. Lots of video footage coming out online where they were lining the streets with Russian flags and pictures of Vladimir Putin. So they're definitely praising him for his visit. I'm sure he will bring a lot of aid to their country, considering that North Korea is under heavy sanctions. So they're going to be doing lots of trade with each other. Vladimir Putin said Russia and North Korea have ramped up ties to a new level, pledging to help each other if either nation is attacked in a breakthrough new partnership announced during the Russian president's rare visit to the reclusive state. Thousands of North Koreans chanting "Welcome Putin" lined the city's wide boulevards, brandishing Russian and North Korean flags and bouquet of flowers, as Putin kicked off his first visit to North Korea in 24 years, with a finely choreographed display of influence in the dictatorship. Excuse me. The pair then signed the new strategic partnership to replace previous deals signed in 1961, 2000, and 2001. According to Russian state news agency TASS, the comprehensive partnership agreement signed today includes, among other things, the provision of mutual assistance in the event of aggression against one of the parties to this agreement. So that's a big part of it, right? Again, we just talked about this. So yeah, the provision of mutual assistance in the event of aggression against one of the parties to this agreement. So they would come and back each other if they come under attack, Putin said after the meeting. Here's a picture of them riding on a Mercedes-Benz through Pyongyang in the town square here. Okay, so it says, he said the deal encompasses the political, trade, investment, cultural spheres, and security sphere as well, calling the pact truly a breakthrough document. Putin said joint drills involving the United States, South Korea, and Japan were hostile towards North Korea, characterizing the U.S. policy as confrontational. Kim, meanwhile, called the new alliance a watershed moment in the development of the bilateral relations, but the deal between the two autocrats raised many questions too, including whether Russia's nuclear deterrent now extends to North Korea and vice versa, or whether the two nations will now hold joint military drills. So that's a big question, yeah. Most likely they will start holding military drills together, considering that their militaries are now tied into each other, that they would protect each other if either or comes under attack. So we'll probably see them continuing joint military drills, or now starting them, excuse me. We'll probably just continue to see more and more cooperation between these two countries, considering that they've signed this new treaty. They're basically extending each other's umbrella over one another's country. So this is very, very big news. And I've got a couple things now that I want to show you, a few other topics regarding this visit. So let's go ahead and get right into this as well. I've got this pulled up for you. We've got two things on X we're going to go over. So first, I want to show you the video footage here. It's just 58 seconds of them signing this treaty, so you can see it in real time. So this is from Lord Bebo. Putin and Kim signed the strategic treaty. The Treaty on Comprehensive Strategic Partnership between Russia and North Korea provides for assistance in the event of aggression against one of the parties, says Putin. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video, 58 seconds. We'll look at it and then talk about it after.
Председатель государственных дел Корейской Народно-Демократической Республики товарищ Ким Чен Ын и президент Российской Федерации товарищ Владимир Владимирович Путин подписывают договор о всеобъемлющем стратегическом партнерстве между Корейской Народно-Демократической Республикой и Российской Федерацией.
All right, so as we can see here, they both have signed this this agreement. So this is going to be huge, and you know, like I said, they're going to be protecting each other if each country comes under attack here. And this is very big because we've talked a lot about that NATO could potentially go to war with Russia. You know, there could also be war breaking out on the Korean Peninsula. I just did a video yesterday that there was North Korean soldiers that were crossing over the DMZ, the demilitarized zone. Warning shots were fired from the South Korean military, and this has happened twice in the last 2 weeks, and there's heavy tension on the border between North Korea and South Korea, so either of these countries could really go to war against the West at any time. Okay, so this is very big. That's why I wanted to show you this. So finally, I got one last thing. This is something that Vladimir Putin also brought up, and this is something I've talked about for a while too. So it says here from BRICS News, just in, President Putin hints at arming North Korea with long-range missiles, weapons, and technology in response to the United States and NATO arming Ukraine. So we talked about a lot about the United States allowing Ukraine to strike targets inside Russian territory. Russia has warned against this and said, you know, this would be a red line for them. They would not allow this to happen. And then something that Vladimir Putin soon started to talk about after his country started coming under attack by missiles from the United States is that he started mentioning that he would be willing to send long-range weapons to countries that are enemies of the United States. So you'd think like maybe like North Korea, Iran, maybe some countries in Africa, or maybe like Venezuela or Nicaragua, or even Cuba. Okay, so there's some countries on his list that he'd be willing to send long-range missiles to start striking targets against the United States. You know, in other countries and using them as a proxy, kind of like what the West is doing with Ukraine right now. So he's mentioning here that he's leaving this on the table basically to allow North Korea to obtain long-range weapons, and they could use these to start striking targets against the West. So let's go ahead and take a look at this as well.
Обращаю внимание на заявление Соединенных Штатов, других натовских стран о поставках высокоточных систем вооружения большого радиуса действия, самолетов F-16 и другого высокотехнологичного вооружения, техники для нанесения ударов по российской территории. В этой связи Российская Федерация не исключает для себя развитие военно-технического сотрудничества с Корейской Народно-Демократической Республикой в соответствии с подписанным сегодня документом. Обращаю внимание на...
Okay, so this is very big news right here, and it looks like this whole allowing Ukraine to strike targets inside Russian territory is just backfiring on the West right now. And then he mentioned here about F-16s and other high-tech weapons that are going to Ukraine, like these ATACMS missiles, for example, too. So this is completely backfiring on the West, and now this is pushing Russia to aid other countries and work with other countries that they can no longer work with the West, basically, because they're cut off from the West. So he's going to start moving to countries like North Korea, maybe Iran, maybe China, and they will strengthen each other in return to this. And this is going to be very big because now Russian President Vladimir Putin could start giving long-range weapons to other countries like North Korea. And imagine what North Korea could do with some of these long-range missiles if they start receiving them. They could start striking South Korea, for example, or maybe even Japan or any other allies to the United States that are in that area, start attacking them, kind of similar to what the Yemen Houthis are doing right now. The Yemen Houthis are using long-range weapons that are given to them from Iran, and they're attacking the U.S. Navy down in near Yemen, okay, in the Red Sea and also the Gulf of Aden. So we could start seeing another type of Yemen, what's happening in Yemen all over the world, okay, in North Korea, maybe even Iran, places like that, any countries that Vladimir Putin chooses to cooperate with and send them long-range weapons. So that's why I wanted you to see that. So this is very, very big news. Lots of information coming out regarding this meeting, and this meeting is very significant, and most people are probably not paying attention to this, but this is Russia expanding. Okay, they're expanding whenever they're supposed to be, pushed into a corner and make it difficult for them to fight this war in Ukraine. They're actually expanding and finding ways to get around all these sanctions and all these different things, restrictions that are being placed on their country right now, considering this war that's going on in Ukraine. So let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. With that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.